So again, when I talked about scaling, as we grow, we have always the chance that our brand and our values will get sort of diluted and go away. As you kind of know, this is, as I mentioned, our mission, our kind of tagline, make the world smile for peace. How many of you guys actually know what that means? I would guess, probably not all of you, at least. And that's kind of a problem because, again, as we expand and even as we move to other countries and different markets, we really need people to at least understand what is our point of view, what are our values, and what do we believe in, what do we want to do. Hey, good? So we, I think at the time, this was again back in 2020, we had a brief. We had a brief for an agency to create a brand film for us. We wanted to have something that we could share on our channels, talk about our vision, our mission for peace. So we approached an agency called Key Saigon, and we asked them, "Hey, we need a film. Help us out." They came back to us actually with something completely different. They heard our brief and said, "You know what? There's no way we can capture this mission of yours in a small 5-minute film. We need something bigger." They came up with this idea, which is a book. We have an idea to make a book called Pizza for Peace, Things That Our Pizza Taught Us. This is the closest thing to kind of a corporate a brand book or so on. But that's something we're going to make. But first, this is from them. The agency challenged us to sort of ask us, do people really know what we're talking about? Do people actually know what does 4 Ps mean? Which is a very good question because we did go and ask a selection of people, in this case 20 people. Basically, I think we asked them, what does Pizza 4 Ps mean? What does it mean to you? The answers we received were not so great. Guy on the left, a lot of things like 4 slices or the initials. She was the closest. She thought some sort of connotation with peace, but generally people are just not sure. So that kind of tells us that we have work to do. If we have this mission that is so important to us, we need to get that out. We need to have people understand what the hell we're talking about. So we have our book. This book is not just an ordinary book. It is a book filled with learnings, experiments shown through films, photography, handwork, and other ways. That's what we're making. This whole kind of project is in progress. It's not finished yet, but you may have seen the first learning of our book was this project, Pizzas 4 Ps. This was a couple years ago. We launched this in our Haibachong restaurant. It's a couple years ago, but I hope some of you are not so familiar with this project. Basically, what we wanted to do, we wanted to take literally nations that are at war, nations that hate each other. And we want to make pizzas that combine those, the ingredients of those nations into one. The reason why we did that is a bit of a slightly long story, but basically, when we say make the world smile for peace, we're not talking about world peace. We're not trying to solve wars. What we actually want is people to feel their peace inside. So it's more like happiness. We want everybody to be happy. This, of course, is not slightly touching on different topics. But the main intention of this was, yes, we're kind of taking this novel approach, but the idea is that people are coming together. Either they're sitting down to eat the pizza, or they're arguing online about, oh, why did you put this herb? You cannot. So it actually brought a lot of dialogue, which we really liked. This was our first piece pizza, the Chinese American. I think it was like a spicy seafood with buffalo chicken or something like that. Our Indian Pakistani food was some sort of take on a kebab. And then lastly, the Palestinian and Israeli pizza, which was, I think, a vegetarian pizza with kind of hummus and different type of spices. Those are the three pizzas. For our pizzas, we needed a box. We needed to put them in a special box. So we came up with these flowers, which are these kind of cut out, folded features. Each flower is representative of that flag. So this one would be your China USA flag, where you have the colors of that flag coming together and so on. And yeah, it just created these kind of beautiful objects that we could then use. We took all that to our Haibachung restaurant where we made an exhibition. The first time we did something like this, we turned our bottom area, ground floor room into this sort of exhibition area, filled it with those flowers for peace. We had a lot of people coming in and visiting and interacting. And we even had this fun little film to promote it at the time. This was, again, done by Key Saigon. I think their agency was Cali Motion, did the animation. So it's sort of telling the story of these two butterflies who come out and come together. This is online, so I'm not going to show you everything because it's a bit long. But we also wanted to create another set of artworks. In this case, we took literally the actual spices of these ingredients to make these kind of artworks. This is a guy named Zach, an American artist who's local. And he made these beautiful compositions just using spices from the market. It's really cool. That's what they look like. Again, each sort of pizza has their own poster, and we hung those throughout the space. We got, of course, good feedback from the design blogs. They love everything, which is nice. We got some cynical reviews from the public, which I think is great. This was a local journalist who tweeted at the time. It's actually kind of funny. It's actually positive, but that was really cool. And then there was a lot of like arguing on Twitter about ingredients, and there was even news coverage about those arguments, which to us is like, we're kind of don't want to say we're like bringing more conflict, but it's nice to just see people kind of talking.